Good evening, dear friends. Today we come together to celebrate something truly beautiful within each of us, our soft, compassionate hearts. There is a reason why you are made with such tenderness, such capacity for love and deep empathy. Your heart, in its softness, holds the key to unlocking the life you are meant to live, a life full of peace, joy, and profound connection. You might have moments where you wonder if your softness is a gift or a burden. Maybe you've been told that you should toughen up, or perhaps you've faced challenges where your gentle nature was misunderstood. But I'm here to tell you today, your soft heart is your strength. It is your gift. It is your source of limitless power. Let's take a moment to think about the nature of the heart. The heart is not a symbol of weakness. It's a wellspring of vitality, of creation, and of love. Your soft heart is the essence of your true self, the part of you that connects with others deeply. It's the part of you that can extend kindness even when it's not easy, the part that can forgive, heal, and open up to new possibilities. A soft heart is often misunderstood in today's world. Society frequently glorifies strength, power, and toughness, suggesting that these qualities are the ultimate indicators of success. In contrast, a soft heart, with its capacity for vulnerability, empathy, and love, can be seen as something weaker or less valuable. But in truth, it is exactly the opposite. A soft heart is not a liability. It is one of the greatest sources of strength you will ever know. It's the foundation upon which your ability to connect, heal, and transform the world around you is built. In embracing your soft heart, you unlock a profound strength that comes from a place of deep understanding and compassion. Unlike the strength that is rooted in domination or control, the strength of a soft heart is grounded in love and authenticity. This type of strength is not about overpowering others, but rather about creating a space where people can feel safe, seen, and understood. It's a power that invites others to be their true selves and helps them heal, often in ways that they didn't think were possible. When we allow ourselves to lead with our hearts, we create connections that are grounded in empathy and trust. These connections are the building blocks of meaningful relationships, whether in our personal lives or our professional endeavors. The vulnerability that comes with a soft heart is not a sign of weakness. It is, in fact, the doorway to deeper, more profound relationships. By showing up authentically and without walls, we invite others to do the same, fostering a sense of mutual respect and understanding. This is the power of compassion. Compassion is the ability to feel and share in the suffering of others, to see beyond the surface and recognize the humanity in everyone we encounter. Compassion does not judge, it simply understands. A compassionate heart has the unique ability to reach across the divide that so often separates us. It transcends differences, allowing us to find common ground even in the most challenging of circumstances. One of the most beautiful aspects of compassion is that it is a catalyst for connection. When you lead with compassion, you draw people in. You give them permission to be vulnerable, to share their struggles, and to open up in ways that they may have never done before. In this space of emotional safety, true healing can take place. The power of connection that stems from compassion creates a ripple effect. It influences others to be kind, to listen, and to offer support in return. The more we practice compassion, the more we foster a sense of community and understanding in the world around us. Think about the people in your life who have shown you true compassion. It might have been a friend who listened to you when you were struggling, or a stranger who helped you when you were in need. These are the moments that remind us of our shared humanity, moments that demonstrate how powerful it is to offer kindness without expecting anything in return. When someone extends their compassion toward you, it has the ability to transform your experience, even if only for a moment. And in that moment, you feel seen, valued, and loved. You feel connected. Now imagine if we all showed up in the world with that same level of compassion. Imagine if we embraced our soft hearts and used them as a force for good. Compassion is not something that is reserved for just a few exceptional people. It is available to all of us. Each and every one of us has the ability to tap into this wellspring of love and tenderness, to offer it freely to those around us. And when we do, we open up the space for connection, for healing, and for positive change. This power of connection that comes from compassion goes beyond just making others feel better. It also has the ability to change the way we view the world. When we allow ourselves to open up emotionally, to be soft and vulnerable, we begin to see others differently. We stop seeing them as separate from us, and instead, we recognize that we are all deeply interconnected. We all face struggles. We all experience pain, and we all long for love and understanding. By embracing our soft hearts, we tap into this universal truth and begin to experience a deeper sense of unity with those around us. Moreover, compassion has the power to heal. Healing doesn't just happen in physical ways, it occurs on emotional and spiritual levels as well. When we offer our compassion to others, we create a space where they can feel accepted and loved. This acceptance is often the first step in the healing process. Many people walk around with deep wounds, and they may not even realize how much pain they are carrying. But when someone extends compassion toward them, it creates a shift. It reminds them that they are worthy of love, of care, and of healing. The same is true for ourselves. When we are compassionate with ourselves, when we show ourselves the same tenderness that we would show to a loved one, we begin to heal the wounds that we've carried for so long. Often we are our own harshest critics, and we hold ourselves to standards that no one else would ever dream of imposing. But when we soften our approach, when we allow ourselves to be kind and understanding, we create the conditions for deep healing. We forgive ourselves for our mistakes, we let go of shame, and we start to move forward with more confidence and clarity. Leading with compassion, both toward others and ourselves, also brings about a sense of peace. It allows us to let go of anger, resentment, and judgment, and instead embrace a mindset that fosters understanding and growth. Compassion asks us to be present, to listen deeply, and to respond from a place of love rather than from a place of fear or defensiveness. This way of being brings a sense of calm to even the most chaotic situations. It enables us to navigate life's challenges with grace and patience. The beauty of compassion is that it's not something we need to force or contrive. It's a natural part of who we are. All we need to do is make the conscious decision to lead with our hearts, to be open, to be kind, and to listen with empathy. When we do this, we not only create deeper connections with others, but we also begin to create a life that feels more meaningful and fulfilling. We begin to see the world through a different lens, one that is full of possibility, connection, and love. And when you start to live from this place of compassion, something incredible happens. You start to attract more of it into your life. You will find that the people around you become more compassionate as well. You will attract relationships that are grounded in kindness and mutual respect. The energy you put out into the world is reflected back to you, creating a cycle of love and connection that continues to grow and expand. But it's not just about attracting the right people into your life. Leading with a soft heart and compassion also brings about change within you. You become more resilient, more open to life's challenges, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. You learn to navigate life with a sense of peace, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the power to respond from a place of love. In conclusion, the softness of your heart is not a vulnerability to be feared or a flaw to be corrected. It is your greatest strength. It is the source of your capacity to love, to heal, and to connect with others in ways that transcend the surface level interactions that so often dominate our lives. By leading with compassion, you invite others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of kindness and understanding that can transform your world. Your soft heart is not only a gift to others, but it is a gift to yourself. a wellspring of peace, connection, and endless possibilities. Let it shine. Let it guide you. And in doing so, you will create a life that is full of love, healing, and meaningful connection. When we talk about self-love, one of the most important aspects that often gets overlooked is the role of boundaries. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They are a fundamental aspect of respecting ourselves and protecting our emotional and mental well-being. The concept of self-love at its core involves giving ourselves the space to nurture our own needs, desires, and emotional health. It's easy to forget that in order to truly love ourselves, we must honor our limits, what we will and won't tolerate. Boundaries are not a barrier to love. They are, in fact, a form of love itself, as they ensure that we are not sacrificing our own happiness for the sake of others. The reason that boundaries are so essential to self-love is that they help us navigate the world with a sense of empowerment and clarity. When we set boundaries, we are saying, I matter. My feelings, my well-being, and my peace of mind are important. Without boundaries, we risk losing ourselves in relationships, responsibilities, or societal expectations. We become overwhelmed, exhausted, and resentful when we give too much of ourselves away without considering what we need. Boundaries help to prevent this from happening. They allow us to create the space needed for our own personal growth and emotional safety while still being able to show up for others in healthy, balanced ways. When we embrace the importance of boundaries, we also begin to understand that our soft hearts need protection in order to flourish. Softness does not mean weakness. It simply means that we have an open heart, one that is capable of love, understanding, and deep emotional connection. However, without boundaries, our softness can be easily exploited or drained by others. Setting boundaries is a way to honor the delicate nature of our hearts and preserve the energy that allows us to give love in healthy, fulfilling ways. When we protect ourselves by creating clear boundaries, we ensure that our capacity for love remains strong, sustainable, and able to flow freely in ways that benefit both ourselves and others. Boundaries, then, become a key component in allowing our soft hearts to thrive. They prevent us from becoming overwhelmed by external demands, helping us to prioritize our own well-being. And in doing so, they give us the energy and emotional space to be more present, more connected, and more capable of extending our love and care to those around us. In a world where it can feel like there's always something or someone demanding our attention, boundaries help us maintain a sense of control over our own lives. They help us decide what we allow in, what we choose to give, and what we need to protect. Setting boundaries also empowers us to live authentically. When we do not set clear limits, we often find ourselves saying yes when we really want to say no. We agree to things that drain us, or we take on responsibilities that are not ours to carry. This misalignment between our true desires and our actions can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and burnout. But when we establish and uphold boundaries, we align our actions with our values. We take ownership of our time, energy, and emotions. We no longer allow others to dictate how we show up in the world. By honoring our own needs, we allow ourselves to show up fully and authentically in our relationships, our work, and in every aspect of our lives. Boundaries also play a role in how we manage conflict. When we set clear, healthy boundaries, we are better able to communicate our needs and desires without fear of rejection or guilt. We become more assertive, and we learn to advocate for ourselves without feeling selfish or wrong. This doesn't mean that we disregard the needs of others. It simply means that we recognize that our own needs are just as important. Setting boundaries with others doesn't mean we are pushing them away. It means we are creating a relationship built on mutual respect, understanding, and compassion. Another crucial aspect of self-love is the ability to see and appreciate the beauty that exists in the world around us. This may seem simple, but it's something that many of us struggle with. In the busyness of daily life, it's easy to get caught up in our to-do lists, responsibilities, and the pressures of modern society. We may focus so much on what we need to accomplish that we forget to pause, take a breath, and appreciate the small moments of beauty that surround us. This beauty is everywhere. It exists in the way the sunlight filters through the trees, the sound of birds singing in the morning, the smile of a stranger, or the laughter of a friend. But we often miss it because we are too preoccupied with other things. This is where softness plays a crucial role. When we allow ourselves to be soft, to open our hearts, and to approach the world with a sense of wonder and openness, we begin to see beauty everywhere. Softness doesn't just mean being emotionally tender, it also means being receptive to the world around us. It's about slowing down, being present, and letting ourselves feel the full spectrum of life's experiences. It's about allowing ourselves to truly witness the world with fresh eyes, to notice the little details that make life so rich and colorful. Seeing beauty everywhere is not just about appreciating the external world, it's also about recognizing the beauty within ourselves and others. When we are soft, we approach ourselves and others with acceptance and love. We stop focusing on flaws and imperfections, and instead we begin to see the inherent goodness and beauty in everyone and everything. This shift in perspective can transform the way we relate to ourselves and others. It helps us appreciate the uniqueness of every person in every moment, and it allows us to cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude for the life we are living. In many ways, softness allows us to experience life on a deeper level. We become more attuned to the present moment, noticing things we might have otherwise missed. We are more open to the beauty of human connection, the joy of simple moments, and the magic that exists in the world around us. Softness helps us see things with a new perspective, with a heart that is open and ready to receive. We start to realize that beauty isn't just found in grand gestures or perfect moments. It's found in the small, everyday things that make life meaningful. For example, consider the beauty of a rainy day. When we are too busy or too closed off, we may see rain as an inconvenience, something that disrupts our plans. But when we are soft and open, we may find beauty in the sound of raindrops tapping on the window, in the freshness of the air, or in the way the rain brings a sense of calm to the world. The same is true for people. When we are soft, we approach others with curiosity and kindness, allowing us to see the beauty in their stories, their struggles, and their triumphs. We stop judging, and instead we start appreciating the uniqueness of each person. Softness also allows us to embrace the beauty of imperfection. In a world that often celebrates perfection and achievement, softness encourages us to let go of unrealistic expectations. It reminds us that it's okay to be messy, to make mistakes, and to embrace our flaws. In fact, our imperfections are what make us human, and they are a vital part of the beauty of life. Softness teaches us to love ourselves, flaws and all, and to see the beauty in the process of growth and change. When we practice softness, we begin to cultivate a sense of wonder in the world. We start to approach life with curiosity and an open heart, allowing us to see beauty in places we might have previously overlooked. This ability to see beauty everywhere is not just about the things we encounter, it's about the way we engage with the world. It's about being present, receptive, and grateful for the richness of life. In conclusion, boundaries and softness are both essential to living a life filled with self-love, connection, and beauty. Boundaries allow us to protect our emotional health and maintain a sense of authenticity and balance, while softness opens our hearts to the beauty and wonder of the world around us. Together, they create a life that is grounded in self-respect, compassion, and appreciation for the simple yet profound beauty that exists in every moment. By honoring our boundaries and embracing our softness, we can navigate life with a deep sense of peace, joy, and gratitude. Self-love and acceptance are not merely feel-good phrases. They are the foundation upon which every other aspect of our lives can be built. Without them, it is nearly impossible to experience the depth of happiness, fulfillment, and peace that we all seek. In the modern world, it can be easy to overlook or neglect self-love. We are often taught to look outside of ourselves for validation, approval, and love. Society often sets impossible standards, asking us to conform to a specific image of success, beauty, or worth. We can easily fall into the trap of believing that we are not enough or that we must be someone else in order to be loved or accepted. However, self-love and acceptance require us to look within ourselves and acknowledge that we are already whole and worthy as we are. To truly love ourselves, we must first accept ourselves. Acceptance means embracing all parts of who we are, both the light and the shadow. It means acknowledging our strengths and our weaknesses, our successes and our failures, our joys and our sorrows, without judgment or criticism. It is about accepting ourselves without needing to change or fix anything. When we are able to accept ourselves, we let go of the need for external validation. We stop seeking approval from others because we no longer need it. We begin to realize that we are worthy of love and respect simply because we exist. Self-love and acceptance are not about perfection. They are not about becoming a flawless version of ourselves that meets society's expectations. They are about recognizing and honoring our uniqueness, our individuality, and our intrinsic worth. This is a process that takes time, and it often requires us to unlearn old beliefs and habits that have been ingrained in us over the years. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must constantly strive for more success, more achievement, more beauty, more validation before we can truly love ourselves. But the truth is, we are enough as we are, and we always have been. Self-love and acceptance come when we stop comparing ourselves to others and start appreciating our own journey. One of the most powerful things that self-love and acceptance can do is to help us heal. So often we carry wounds from the past, whether they are emotional, physical, or psychological, that prevent us from fully embracing who we are. These wounds may come from experiences of rejection, criticism, or trauma, and they can create deep-seated beliefs that we are not worthy of love, success, or happiness. But when we learn to love ourselves, we begin to heal these wounds. We stop seeing ourselves as broken or incomplete, and we start to see ourselves as whole, even with our scars. Healing happens when we allow ourselves to feel and process our emotions without shame or judgment. It happens when we accept ourselves as we are, knowing that our past does not define us, and that we have the power to create a new future. Self-love is also closely linked to our ability to set boundaries. When we love and accept ourselves, we recognize that we have the right to protect our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. We learn to say no when something doesn't align with our values or needs, and we learn to say yes to things that nurture us. This ability to set boundaries allows us to show up more fully for ourselves and for others, without compromising our own happiness. When we embrace self-love and acceptance, we give ourselves permission to prioritize our own needs without guilt or fear. We understand that taking care of ourselves is not selfish, it is necessary for our overall well-being. In addition to nurturing ourselves, self-love and acceptance also enable us to show love and compassion to others. When we accept ourselves, we stop projecting our insecurities onto others. We stop judging others or comparing ourselves to them because we are no longer threatened by their success, beauty, or achievements. Instead, we learn to celebrate their accomplishments and find joy in their happiness. In self-love opens the door to deeper, more authentic connections with others because it allows us to love without conditions, without expecting anything in return. When we love ourselves, we create a sense of peace within, and that peace radiates outward, touching everyone we come into contact with. When we talk about self-love and acceptance, we must also recognize that embracing our softness is an essential part of the process. Softness is not weakness. It is the capacity to remain open, vulnerable, and gentle in a world that often pushes us to be hard, tough, and invulnerable. It is the courage to show up in our most authentic, unguarded form, even when we fear rejection or judgment. Our softness is the gateway to our true selves. And it is through our softness that we can experience the deepest connection to others and to the world around us. In order to fully embrace our softness, we must first let go of the belief that vulnerability is a weakness. Society often teaches us that being vulnerable means being exposed or susceptible to harm. We are told to hide our emotions, to avoid showing our true selves, and to put up walls to protect ourselves. But in reality, our vulnerability is where our greatest strength lies. It is in our vulnerability that we form real, meaningful connections with others. It is through our softness that we are able to experience love, compassion, and empathy in their truest forms. When we allow ourselves to be soft, we are giving ourselves permission to be human, imperfect, yet beautiful in our authenticity. Embracing our softness also allows us to see beauty in the world. It is easy to get caught up in the chaos of everyday life and overlook the simple, fleeting moments of beauty that surround us. But when we soften our hearts and open ourselves to the present moment, we begin to see the world with fresh eyes. We notice the beauty in a child's laughter, in the colors of the sunset, in the kindness of a stranger, or in the stillness of a quiet morning. Softness allows us to experience life in all its richness and fullness without the need to constantly strive for something more. It invites us to appreciate the simple, everyday moments that make life meaningful. When we embrace our softness, we also come to realize that we are part of a greater whole. Our softness connects us to others and to the world in a profound way. It reminds us that we are not isolated or separate, but interconnected with every living being. We are all part of the same web of existence. And when we allow our hearts to soften, we feel that connection more deeply. Our softness enables us to recognize the inherent beauty in all people, in all creatures, and in all things. It allows us to see the goodness that exists even in the midst of pain and suffering. This understanding of our interconnectedness is a powerful reminder that we are not alone. When we embrace our softness, we are not only loving and accepting ourselves, but we are also recognizing the shared humanity of others. We begin to see beyond the surface and connect with the essence of who people are. We become more compassionate, more empathetic, and more willing to help others on their own journeys. Embracing our softness, we contribute to the healing of the world. We become a source of light and love, radiating warmth and compassion to those around us. When we recognize that our softness is part of a greater whole, we begin to understand that we are not separate from the world around us. We are all part of a vast, interconnected web of life. Each of us has a unique role to play, and each of us is capable of contributing something beautiful to the world. Embracing our softness allows us to live in harmony with the world around us, recognizing the beauty in everything we encounter. It allows us to let go of the need to control, to force, or to manipulate, and instead trust in the natural flow of life. In conclusion, self-love and acceptance are the cornerstones of a fulfilling life. When we embrace these qualities, we recognize our inherent worth and begin to heal. Self-love empowers us to set boundaries, to protect our emotional well-being, and to cultivate deeper connections with others. When we embrace our softness, we open ourselves to the beauty of life and the world around us. Softness connects us to others and to the greater whole, reminding us that we are all part of something much bigger than ourselves. By embracing self-love acceptance, and our softness, we can create a life that is filled with peace, joy, and meaningful connection. We can live authentically, loving ourselves and others, and contributing to the healing and beauty of the world.